The story everyone is talking about in the US today, and we have the latest updates right here. Welcome to USA News. If you don't want to miss what happens next, subscribe now. Here is what we know so far. Iran war update. Ceasefire on the brink as deadly strikes continue in Lebanon. Just days after a major U.S. Iran agreement raised hopes for peace in the Middle East, fresh violence is threatening to unravel everything. Reports of a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah sparked optimism around the world. But within hours, deadly airstrikes, conflicting claims, and growing tensions cast doubt on whether the fragile agreement can survive. As civilians remain trapped under rubble, world leaders scramble to prevent a wider regional conflict. Here's the latest on one of the most important developments in the Middle East. The situation took a dramatic turn overnight when Israeli strikes reportedly hit multiple locations in southern Lebanon. Lebanese state media reported that several people were killed, including children, while rescue crews rushed to search through damaged buildings. In some areas, families were still waiting for news about loved ones believed to be trapped beneath the debris. The attacks came only hours after reports emerged that Israel and Hezbollah had agreed to a ceasefire aimed at ending the latest round of fighting. The timing immediately raised questions. Was the ceasefire already falling apart, or was fighting continuing before the agreement fully took effect? Israeli officials say their military operations were launched in response to projectile attacks allegedly fired toward Israeli forces in southern Lebanon. According to military sources, dozens of projectiles were launched overnight, prompting retaliatory action. However, Hezbollah has not publicly claimed responsibility for attacks after news of the ceasefire became public. The confusion has fueled uncertainty across the region. At the center of the diplomatic effort is the recently signed U.S. Iran agreement, announced earlier this week. The deal was viewed as a major breakthrough after months of conflict and tension. But ongoing violence in Lebanon now threatens to complicate the broader peace process. Talks expected to take place between American and Iranian officials were postponed, with reports indicating that the continued fighting in Lebanon played a significant role in the delay. Iranian officials say consultations are continuing through mediators regarding the next phase of negotiations. Meanwhile, new concerns emerged after Iran announced additional requirements for ships traveling through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important energy transit routes. Analysts warn that any disruption in the region could have global economic consequences. President Donald Trump has publicly emphasized his role in pushing for calm. According to reports, Trump personally urged Israeli officials to support a ceasefire with Hezbollah. The president described the agreement as a positive development and suggested it could help strengthen broader efforts toward regional stability. At the same time, Trump rejected claims from Iran's leadership that the United States entered the agreement from a position of weakness. The exchange highlights the continuing political tensions surrounding the deal, even as diplomatic efforts move forward. Across social media, reactions have been intense. Many people expressed hope that the ceasefire can hold and prevent additional civilian casualties. Others remain skeptical, pointing to the rapid return of violence and the deep mistrust that exists between the parties involved. For families living in conflict zones, however, the focus is far more personal. Their concerns are not about politics or negotiations. They are about safety, survival, and whether loved ones will make it home. Perhaps the most heartbreaking images coming from Lebanon are those of rescue workers digging through collapsed buildings while families wait nearby. For many civilians, every hour brings uncertainty. Every siren, every explosion, and every military announcement can mean the difference between hope and tragedy. These are the human realities behind the headlines. As the world watches closely, the future of the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire remains uncertain. Diplomats are working around the clock. Military forces remain on alert. And millions of people across the region are hoping that negotiations can succeed where conflict has failed. The coming days may determine whether the Middle East moves closer to lasting peace, or faces another dangerous escalation. For now, the world waits and watches.